privileged to have an August visitor in our midst. I see it as an opportunity for us to learn one or two things from his success story and the nuggets of wisdom that he would give us that should be able to guide us as we go about this life. Usually we are told that the world of work is completely different from the classroom. And so I see this as an opportune time for us to learn even way before we get out of school. As a topic for today's guest lecture speaks about, we will be treated to what we are expected to do when we are out of this place. But even that is an opportunity because a lot of us who left school didn't know what we were going to face. So I consider it as an opportunity for you, the young ones, that even at this age, you start thinking about what you'll be doing when you get out of school. And we have carefully chosen someone who understands this field of work. And I believe that there could not have been any other person to do this than our today's guest lecturer. He was born in Kumasi. For those of you who come from Kumasi, I'm sure this is good for you. And attended Opokuwari Secondary School, Senior High School. Well, it's actually Opokuwari School. That's how they like to put it. It's not a senior high school, Opokuwari School. Actually, if I didn't go to Xavier, I would have gone to Opokuwari because it's a Catholic school. And he is the CEO of New Lucky Electricals Company Limited. In one of our conversations, he mentioned that a lot of the things that we have on this campus when it comes to electricals are from his company. So it's an opportunity for us to learn how he did it. Mr. Joseph Obeng is the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA. And if you have been in the news or if you have been listening to the news, you would know that his name is a very popular name because almost every time he's in the news talking for the welfare of traders of this country. Because time is fast spent, the profile is a long litany, but because we don't have time, let's put our hands together and welcome our today's guest lecturer, Mr. Joseph Obeng.
Thank you very much, Eugene, for this opportunity. And thank you, students, for making time for these fruitful interactions that we are going to have. Before I start anything, I want to ask you about your feelings when you heard that 6 young students, or what shall I say, who went to seek for job opportunities at work, got into a fatal accident and they are diseased as we are talking now. Did you hear that? How did you feel? I think you've watched the scene several times. That numerous youth forcing their way through a smaller place, and then the stampede occurred and they died. Not because they were doing anything bad, but because they were seeking jobs to take care of themselves and for their family. That's the relevance of this meeting that we're having today. I came here and this is a very passionate moment for me, especially coming exactly 2 days after this incident. Then I realized that we have a serious work at hand. Work that should not be left to the government alone, but also the private sector. The government create a enabling environment for the private sector to thrive and grow. Who will create the necessary wealth that will also turn into employment creation. And so we will do it together. Your lecturer gave me the topic, the rudiments of life, transitioning from classroom to the world of work. So permit me to do two things. We are going to be very brief. I know students do not have time. And most times when we do long talk, we become non-fa. And students normally, sometimes at Opokwari, you see them at the back bench and they will start yelling at you. And so I wouldn't waste your time, but I'll be straight to the point so that we will have the needed results that we seek to have. So I've greeted you, and I'll greet you again and address you as my future leaders. Today marks a significant moment in your lives. A moment to appreciate that you stand at the edge of a major transition. A shift from the structured world of the classroom to the dynamic, unpredictable, demanding world of work. This transition is not merely a change of location or a new routine. It is a profound shift in perspective. It is a change in mindset, responsibility, and identity. I want you to take your time and listen to anything that I say here. Don't take it for granted. You are moving from being students to becoming contributors of value. And for that journey, understanding the rudiments of life is very essential. I will kindly want you to observe the following. 1, understanding the transition. That's from school, then to the world. In school, your path was largely defined for you. Timetables, syllabuses, instructions, and examinations. But in the world of work, nothing is handed to you. The world does not ask what you studied. It asks what you can do, how you think, and what problems you can solve. That's what the world is going to ask you when you get out there. Success outside the classroom requires initiative, curiosity, resilience, and discipline. It requires accepting that results matter more than effort, and your value is measured by your contributions, character, and competence. 2, you should know yourself, and that is the foundation of growth itself. Knowing yourself. Before you think about jobs, titles, or salaries, you must start with self-awareness. Who are you? Who are your strengths? What are your strengths? What excites you? What skills come naturally to you? You should be able to observe that in your very self. You cannot build a fulfilling career based on guesses. Cannot guess anything and it will be fulfilling for your career. Understanding yourself helps you to make better decisions, avoid unnecessary detours, and position yourself where your gifts can shine. And as you grow, learn to develop emotional intelligence. That's maturity. The ability to manage yourself, your reactions, and your relationships. In the workplace, emotional intelligence often matters more than certificates. The ability to control yourself, showing maturity, counts more than the certificates that you hold in. It is the fuel of good leadership, effective teamwork, and meaningful collaboration. The third one I will talk about is essential life skills you must master. The transition into adulthood demands skills that go beyond academic knowledge. You must learn to manage your time because no one will chase you to meet deadlines. At that time, you are for yourself. And so you have to manage your own time. You must learn financial discipline because money behaves differently when you earn it. When you don't have money, you assume or presume that the moment you have money, you will know how to save it. Because at this time, you don't have it. And it's your wish to have some so you can save. But when you have it, that's where the actual problem comes. And even more differently when you mismanage this money. You must learn communication because success depends not only on what you know, but on how clearly, confidently, and respectfully you express yourself. Self-confidence. That will put you above your compatriots. These skills are not taught in most classrooms, I guess. Yet they determine much of your progress in the real world. Career readiness, that's competing in the real world. Your CV should tell a compelling story of your abilities. Your online presence, especially on platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and the rest, must reflect professionalism. These days, it is easy for companies to assess you even from those things that you do at your Facebook and all it will surprise you to know. So don't just do things haphazardly just because you want to satisfy your friends and then leaving your own future behind. So you comport yourself where you are comporting yourself here, you do also on those platforms. So, and when you walk into an interview, you must walk in with confidence, clarity, and authenticity. Understand workplace culture, respect integrity, punctuality, teamwork. Know that no matter where you work, your attitude will always speak louder than your qualification. Your attitude. You may have all the qualifications, but you'll be despised at your workplace because of your attitude. And in this era, that people want you to be out so that they fill in, you cannot afford to show out any negative attitude. So you learn it from now. Because when something becomes your habit, it becomes difficult for you to change in the future. Workplace reward, reliability, honesty, initiative, and continuous learning. Work ethics. The invisible currency, that's priceless. That's work ethics. The most successful people in any field are not always the most talented. They are the most consistent and disciplined. Integrity is priceless also. Accountability builds trust. Dedication shapes your brand. Initiative opens doors that talent alone cannot. Do not wait to be told what to do. Be the person who sees a need and responds. Be the one people can depend on. Employers value problem solvers, not problem reporters. Even at school, people are just known to be reporting people to others. Don't inculcate that habit. And then do the positive one by solving problems so that it becomes part of you and then it will live with you. Thinking beyond employment. So apart from you thinking that you go and seek employment after school, you also have to think beyond that and then prepare the entrepreneurial mindset. Probably this is part of the reason that I am here today, to guide you to know how to conceive and prepare the future for yourself, especially at the time that you are waiting for that job that you'll be seeking. The future belongs to those who think creatively and adapt quickly. Whether you become an employee or employer, think like an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not only about starting a business, it is about seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. It is about innovation, resilience, and courage. Start where you are with what you have. A small idea today could become a major venture tomorrow. Many successful careers started as a side hustles, freelance work, and simple attempts to solve everyday problems. Number 7, I want to talk about is building the right relationships. Your network is one of your greatest assets. Build relationship with mentors, professionals, colleagues, peers. Learn to collaborate. Learn to ask questions. Learn to listen. The right relationships will open doors you never knew existed. No one succeeds alone. As you chase opportunities and pursue success, protect your mental, emotional, and physical health. Life after school comes with pressures, deadlines, expectations, responsibilities. Learn to manage stress. Learn to rest. Stay active. Eat well. And value your peace of mind. A healthy mind is productive mind, as they say. You don't necessarily have to put yourself under stress to affect your health because you are seeking for employment. And that's the reason why we are here, to guide you, so that as long as it will take you to get or secure that employment, you would have filled the gap with something meaningful that will ever let you forget about the so-called employment that seem not to exist, especially at this time of our economic life. Embracing technology. The modern workplace is digital. Whatever you are in business, agriculture, health, education, or public service, technology is your partner. I hope you agree with me. Learn to use tools, understand data, and navigate digital communication. Your ability to adapt to technology will determine how relevant you remain in the future. Moving forward with purpose. As you step into this new chapter, remember, life will test you. Workplaces will challenge you. People will evaluate you. Opportunities will demand courage. But you know what? You are capable. You are prepared. And you are ready, I can assure you. The classroom has given you knowledge. Now life will give you experience. Use both wisely. Stand tall. Learn continuously. Work with integrity. Build relationship. Dare to dream. And above all, become a person of value. The world of work is waiting, and so is the future you are destined to build. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we've come to the practical world. I can't remember the last time I took my time to write something like this. But I was encouraged by what happened. I was saddened. So I say, let me take opportunity to come and advise people who are ready to listen. Let's ask ourselves, what does school provide us? When you come to school, what does school provide you? School gives you a general knowledge about everything that can help transform you. It's as simple as that. It gives you a general knowledge. Forget about the department that you are. Don't limit yourself to the marketing that you are doing. Open yourself to the knowledge, the vast knowledge that you have accrued over the years. That's what matters. to transform you. It will not be out of place for someone to say an academia might have a leverage over a non-academia in terms of knowledge, in communication, level of discernment, and even networking. At times, the world behaves like the marketplace. The world will buy you at the price at which you present yourselves. Now I've compared you to somebody who did not have the opportunity to come to a tertiary education. And so I said, you are the academia and that non-academia. Is it right for somebody to say that you have a leverage over the one who was not privileged to go to school like you? Please, I want you to answer. Will it be right? Or is it correct? Or is it true? Definitely, you have a leverage. So this opportunity that you have is not limited to what you did at school. It's open to you. You come to the world, an information technology world, where most of us who are in the traditional way of doing business, we are stuck in the past. If you tell most of my colleagues to go into the social media, they don't know where what they are doing there. And you are always fidgeting this, and there are so many opportunities out there. You can trade. Now the world is moving. There's new norms of doing business over the old norms, the traditional ways of doing business, where people had to walk into a store in Opera Square, to a store at Cantamanto. This time, the dynamism is such that you don't need that. And this is at your purview. So, after school, what next? You've completed school. You want to occupy yourself with some job. And at this stage, the expectation is not coming from your very self. Your parents have also joined. You've completed school. Why don't you go search for some job? And it becomes a very big problem for you. I hope you know most of your peers from your school who were your seniors, who have completed school and yet to find job. So if care is not taken, you'll be discouraged. So what am I even doing here at school? No, don't be discouraged. You have to do something different from what that your friend or senior did. And that's why you need tools such as this to guide you to use your time very well, occupy yourself with something that may not need that you depend solely on what you are searching and what you are not also getting. So apart from specific courses that naturally may lead people to specific jobs like medicine, teaching, and nursing, etc., most of you after school might have to go for job hunting, which normally takes a year, 2, or forever to get. Even those ones that are mentioned, these days, most of them have completed schools and they are still waiting to be posted elsewhere. So that one is not even a full fact. So my presence here today is to help you fill in the gap, explore your potential, and unveil your entrepreneurial skills. You definitely have to do something rather than waiting. Before you can do something for yourself, you should be innovative. Brace yourself up for risk and start your own business. So that's what, if normally people think about entrepreneurship, these three things come. Risk aspect will come, and then innovation will come, and all that. So these things we talk and talk and talk. And so if care is not taken, it will become just a theory or a jargon without any sense. So what do you have to do? Let me help you find out how you can identify areas you can conceive the idea. You've completed school. You are waiting to get a job you are not getting. So you want to do something. There are so many things that you can do. So many things. And it abounds. It's around us. But we are not taking advantage. We are not reinventing the wheels any longer. Everything is cooked for us. And yet we refuse to see them. So first, it's easier to recognize the work or the business that your friends and your family people do. That one there is obvious. That at least your parents have some work that they are doing if they are business people. If you are in good company, you may have friends that they are doing some serious business that is fetching them good money. That's good business, not those things. So you identify from these people. You are not reinventing the wheel. They've done it and they are getting the success. And because you are close to them, you understand how these things work. When your mother goes to China, the things that you go and buy, the things that he frequently buys and all that shouldn't be a difficult thing for you to understand. So you can nose out for this information from your own families and friends. Then, if you are in a certain locality, the local industry, probably you are in a location where they do coconut plantation, and then people do business around this plantation. Some of them do coconut chips, others do coconut oil, others also use everything about coconut, is plenty, or palm oil plantation. So it's easier. Your mind is informed about your locality, what is being done in your locality, what other guys have done and they've become successful. What did they do? And you have it at your tips. So whilst you are there not doing anything, your locality can inform you what possibly you can readily also do. Then, adapting a business model from another locality. Maybe you stay at Adenta and you've gone to Nungwa. You've seen that there's something particular that somebody is doing that there's none at Adenta. That people actually queue to go and buy this thing. And you go there and you see, hey, as for this thing, Adenta, we don't have such a thing at Adenta. Can I try this at Adenta? Try. You see, the word here is try. Because that make it the risk. Because business is how you embrace risk and manage risk. So the moment you become afraid of risk because of what is unknown normally and competition, then you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneurship is management of risk. That's all entrepreneurship is about. So you see the risk, especially where people do not go there. That's where the money comes very big. And so you see something, you always go to this place. You see people patronizing it. It has informed you severally. This thing. And it doesn't tell you to try at your locality. Then you are not taking opportunity. Then we come to the almighty social media. The almighty social media. The almighty social media abounds. Lots and lots and lots of businesses. Let me give you an example. I think during the previous government, they awarded some prize to 3 young ladies from one of the secondary schools. And what have they done? I think they have used the banana, is it peels or hucks, or I don't know what the banana, this thing to make a paper. Who read about that? I think they were giving some nice money, about 100,000 each to them. I was wondering, how could these young kids be able to do this? They've indeed done well. They've made a paper out of this. And then out of the paper, they've made card and then polythene bag and all that for their display. And they got an award. So who gave birth to these children? How were they able to know? Where did they get this knowledge to produce this? So at a point, something struck me. I became curious. You see, curious, I used it in my first presentation. Those who were listening. Did you hear curious in my first presentation? So I became curious. And then went to your social media. I went to YouTube. And then I searched how to turn banana husk. The word, yes, to make a paper. Oh, goodness. Then it popped up about 100 of them, especially in Thailand, those areas. And then when reading through the way these people demonstrated this and all that, I said, there is it. These people took it from here. I'm not saying that's what my thinking is. But from what they were explaining and all that, it resembled the one that I've also seen. Your social media. It abounds a lot of information. A lot of things. Value addition is what we require as a nation. There are some funds waiting somewhere. Ghana Enterprises Agency, MasterCard Foundation, where especially for women, those who have add value to our raw materials and all that, they give you as a startup capitals and all that. How are you exploring all this? At your leisure time that you'll be using the social media for other things. Have you also thought about exploring some businesses for yourself? I think you are quieter here. Is there something that I said that does not make you happy? Or I'm saying the truth, I'm hitting the nail. Please, the social media abounds a lot. Of course, there are the negative influence there, but then we have the positive influence also there, that you can get a lot of information. Some of us were not privileged to come to the universities. And so, where is our networking? Who are we connected to? What I've noticed out there is that those people who have the opportunity to come to the universities, when they come to the field of work, they excel. Using some of these connections and all that. We have a deal in electrical appliances. Like I'm speaking with you, most of my product is called here because I sell very quality products. They buy everything from here and from my place. A gentleman was at Tech and he did electrical engineering. When he came out from school, he did not go for electrical work, or he just came for the trading space. When I mention the name, you see that he's so big a guy now. When he came, he did his things differently. Because of what? Because he has probably superior knowledge in the electrical business. He understands some of the terms that we were just selling, but we didn't understand some of the terms. Sometimes consultant will bring you a list of items and they write it in the technical terms. Sometimes you have to go and find somebody to explain to you before you know that, oh, this is a normal lamp holder they are talking about. And he knew everything, and he also had the connection for electrical engineers in institutions. Before we realized, he has become the biggest of us all because he had the network, he has the connection and all that. Then apprenticeship. Sometimes we find it disgraceful that after school we will go and learn some apprenticeship. It's wrong. That space of time, what are you doing with it? Some of this apprenticeship is about six months. Those who learn the nails and all that. I knew some young twins. They were at University of Ghana. I think they've relocated to US because their sister died in US, and they were doing facial. They were twins. I think they were in social media sometime. So they used to come and worry me. They like asking questions and all that. Oh, now we do facials for our friends at school. That's what we do. And then now we want to go and buy the cosmetics from China. We want to brand it. Hey, those guys, they were at school and they were just moving at a space that you could not understand. And now they are one of the biggest in the cosmetics when it comes to the facial industry. This is what I'm talking about. Apprenticeship. That's where I learned mine. You can imagine having gone to Opukura Secondary School, having even continued to Kumasi Polytechnic. I did this RA62, is it diploma or what? And after that, because of Sikasem, I didn't continue again. And then my father's neighbor, as somebody whose house was near us, was selling goods at Adum Kumasi. Then I approached my father that once I'm out of school, you want me to help him with his accounts and all that, because I was doing accounting and all that. So I became a store boy, a shop assistant for 11 good years. Whilst there, a store boy, what pay will you be getting? Even I had gotten the opportunity to work for this bank. They put me on probation. So my father said, whilst we are waiting, you go for probation, why don't you work for this man? And when I started working with him, because he knew my potential, he furnished my room, bought TV, everything within a day. So you bought me. You bribed me. and I got hooked to him, and I learned under him. At a point, he had to send me. Who knows that Monrovia used to be like Dubai? Who have heard of it before? We used to go and buy goods from Monrovia, like as if we are going to. My boss will send me to Monrovia, go buy goods. He sent me to Abidjan. You know, Abidjan too, we used to buy a lot. Even the Eversheen cream and all that is made from there. We used to go and buy there. I used to go to Nigeria and later to China. I was training myself. So when it came to a time that my boss said that, okay, you've been with me for such a long time, please go and work for yourself. He gave me some amount, even though he couldn't acquire for a shop. Because at that time, that's all that I knew. I couldn't use the money for any other thing apart from trading. So because I was lacking to have this shop of mine, I have to force myself into partnership with another gentleman who gave me the top up to go and acquire a shop. That was the beginning of New Lucky Electricals. My boss's company was called Lucky Store. And so when I opened mine, because I built a goodwill, I travel everywhere, everybody was calling me Lucky. So when I got the opportunity, I put the new Lucky to my name, and now the story is different. Then visiting trade fairs. There are so many uncountable times Ghanaians do not search. You don't have the money to go to Canton Fair in China. Just last 3 weeks, I came from Düsseldorf, a plastic fair, because I want to start manufacturing plastic products. So I went to plastic fair. I had been to Shenzhen fair. Also, all searching for the right machinery to come and produce things, and then also generate some kind of employment for you. You can't go to these areas that I'm talking about, but when there's an opportunity here where people have come here from India, from elsewhere, maybe Dubai, and then come and organize a trade fair or B2B, they come all the time. Do you read about them? Have you heard that maybe Turkish business delegation have come to Ghana? They are doing business to business. Who have heard that before? Oh, none of you. So let's seek information, because all these things come to the social media as a way of advert. Let's do something with our social media as a way of positive information seeking. And so you have the opportunity, these businesses come. Some of them just want a dedicated person so that they can make him an agent, they can support him and all that. These are the kind of opportunities that you can get. I won't bore you too much. Let me rush through so that if you have questions, you can ask me. Having identified what you want to do, the major issue that arises is working capital. The amount of money that you have should help you determine what business to do. I normally do not advise people to use loans as startups, especially for an unknown area of business. So how do you get your capital? You can start with your little savings that you have. Because mind you, any amount that you have in will determine what you can do. And one thing that normally worries most young people is that they want some fashionable business, whether that business will pay or not. So I want to have boutique. Oh, I want to sell these cosmetics. I want to sell shoes and all that. But maybe your capital cannot start. So, what do you do? So if you have this capital that you are talking about, let's say a crate of egg is about 60 cedis. Probably from Doma areas, you can get it about 50 cedis. You come here, you sell it 70 cedis. And you have 300 Ghana cedis. So 50 times 6 crates. You've started a retail of egg selling with 300 Ghana cedis. How many people cannot easily dispose of 300 Ghana cedis? Easily. Most of us here can easily come by that amount. If you do, because you have about pretty difference also, about 20% there. If you continually do that, then you can migrate to wholesale. What it means is that if you have 5,000 cedis, you are bringing 100 crates of eggs from Doma area, Brekum area, and you come and distribute. So with 5,000 Ghana cedis, you become a distributor already. With 10,000, you are having about 200 crates and all that. Please, is that a business or not? I hope it's a business. Or it's not beautiful business because I mentioned egg. Okay, what shall I use? Maybe jewels. You know an aunt who goes to Dubai all the time. And you know that your colleagues buy a lot of jewels. You save up to about $500. It's not big. But you give to your auntie, please auntie, because you can't take a flight to Dubai with 500. Auntie, anytime you go to Dubai, I'm giving you 500 Ghana cedis to buy these jewels for me. You take pictures and all that show, and you bring it in a small sack. Then you also distribute. The next time you go in, it's not 500 you are going to give her. You are going to give maybe 850 or 900. Before he turns over about 10 times, you are getting there. You are getting rich. You are getting business. So the time that you have accumulated that much for you to also travel and bring it in bulk. You can adopt other people's capital to start. That's credit from existing companies. You can go to a company as a marketing student or a knowledgeable person. You see New Lucky. I've done that to 2 gentlemen. They came to my shop. They say, we can sell your goods for you. We are well versed with the online business. Now I say, what is the deal? I say, okay, I'll give you every light. I'll give you 10%. One gentleman, for 1 month, I did not hear from him. When he came, he came with a 200,000 business. Somebody wants lights. He get it from Dev Traku or some. I've forgotten. And then he brought a list of items that he wants to sell. I've told him, adapt my company. Go and tell them that New Lucky is yours, so far as you are able to sell the goods for me. People are ready to do that. And this gentleman, his first business he gave to me was 200,000, and he netted 20,000 Ghana cedis. Just one business. Supposing you are employed at some institution where they are paying you, even some of the banks 3,000, 3,500, 4,000. So if they are paying you 4,000, it's about 5 months pay. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Please take me serious, and it will help all of us. You can also use your idea as an equity for partnership. So you have an idea and you don't have the resources. Then you know somebody who have the means and all that, somebody that you can trust. In this case, in this particular case, you get somebody that you trust, and you say that I have this business, we can make 100% cool. But I don't have the money, bring your money, so when it comes 50-50. This 50-50, this 50-50, all the time, you see that it will help you also raise your own capital. Depending on the project at hand, you can also get startup capital for the youth from recognized bodies like Ghana MasterCard Foundation, Ghana Enterprise Agencies, like I've already said. They give to specific projects like value addition, those people who use Nkuto. You see now, people have become innovative. They use Nkuto, add some things to make it very nice, scented, this thing, body creams and all that. This is what I'm talking, that you get these monies from. And these people, they do the proper labeling, and then you put your name tag on it, and there you are manufacturing product. Online business is very easy nowadays, which requires a very small capital for establishment. Here, I know most of you do it, and I know that is your specialty, and it is a very a good thing that you are doing. I know a young lady who is a very fashionable young lady, but he's taking it to her advantage. She has the taste for good shoes. So she will search the market and then select in any of those imported ones, selected the best shoes. So maybe she's having about 2,000 or 3,000. She will select the best shoes. Probably she will leave none to those areas. And then she come and display on her profile, this thing. I asked her the other time how much profit she gets, and she was full of laughs. She said, I get a lot because mine is unique. I know the selection. I select well. Some even do the bend down selection, fools, and all that, iron it proper, put it in rubbers and all that. Because you don't have it. That's what you have. And that whatever you have, that's what you'll be able to do. So you have 1,000 Ghana cedis, you can go and bend down. And with all your swag things, you know what is swag in those bend down materials there. You know that this thing people will need it. Oh, this is trendy. This is what? These are your terms. And then you select them, take it to the laundry, press it very well, put it in nylon and all that. You've gotten your boutique. And if you've been, because some of them are also branded product. So people also do this business and they are making it. Then if you go to fairs like I was talking about, you meet manufacturers who are ready to give you what they call supplier's credit. In Turkey these days, they have the Exim Bank guarantee. So any manufacturer who have a distributor, you can access this money and then give the goods to the person who is buying. They want to industrialize their country, and they want people from Africa and elsewhere to come to their place. So they've earmarked this Exim guarantee so that manufacturers will take it and give it for their intended customers. These things are all there, but then you have to be knowledgeable. You go to fairs, you meet maybe a company that produces maybe detergents, these things, or hair products. Anything that if you are a feminine, you can easily sell and all that. Some of them, if you go to Turkey, sometimes if I buy dress from, get the information. When you get the information, you have the means to purchase. So, problems associated with partnership, I'll just skip it because when you think about partnership, then you have to be careful. Before you engage yourself in partnership in this part of our world, it's a very difficult terrain. So you have to be careful. You have to first and foremost get a trusted person to work with. If you have this trusted person, it should be that each one of you is not going to be dependent on this partnership that you are doing, that you will fall on salary and he also salary, and that whatever profit that you get, you have to share among yourself and all that. That's not how we do it. So, thinking about partnership, you have to be independent. Both of you. You have to get something that you depend. and he also have something, and then you grow the partnership. Otherwise, I entered some. I told you when I was beginning, I didn't have. The problem that I went through, my guy, he got married earlier before me. And so when he got married, he had to take money for the wedding. And so when he take the money for the wedding, well, because I'm not going to wed anybody, but I also have to take the same amount of money from the company because he doesn't have to cheat me. After wedding, then they gave their first child and they say, oh, now our family is getting bigger, so we went to rent an apartment. We have to get 2-bedroom apartment. They collected money for that purpose, and the same amount of money should be given to me. So tried as we did, the business was not growing. He wants a car. He buy it. I also have to get my car. And that's why if you want partnership agreement to grow, all of you should be independent from the business itself to allow the business to grow. So that time that you decide to share profits and all that. So to start a business is not a problem at all, but how to sustain and manage growth is the problem. Starting any business, you start a business and you get a buyer. You start something, so far as that something is required in Ghana, you get a buyer. And so you see that you are growing. But how to sustain this growth? In my earlier speech, I said that how you, if money haven't come to you, then you think, but when it comes to you, how you manage or mismanage it. I hope now you get the essence why I said that. And so, it's very important that you observe these virtues if you start growing your business. That's the most important thing. That if you observe these things, that is going to set you apart from the other people who are doing things haphazardly. So integrity and honesty. It's very important that if you started business, people have started giving you credit, you have to show that you are credit worthy. You have to pay them so that they also keep on giving to you. You know, when somebody gives you goods at credit, you know what the person has done to you? Who can tell me? If somebody give you goods on credit, it means that the person is giving you loan without interest, any interest payment. You would have gone to the bank to get the money, and then you go to the person to buy. And then interest will start accumulating on the goods. But when you are credit worthy, you get free loan. That's all that it means. That somebody is giving you credit, and then you have to honor the payment in time. So at a point, when I was out with my boss and I started this, I said that I didn't have the money, I have to fall on somebody. We didn't have anything in my shop. Initially, because of my experience, I went round. Because the money, after getting the shop, we didn't have anything much because the guy was not independent like me. I was likewise me. From my experience, and because I have the networking, I know most of the Indians, the Chandirams, the Glamour, the Life Technical, those people, I knew most of them. So initially what I did was that I went round and took empty boxes. And then I fill it with some paper, and then it became hardened. Then I pack it out. The store was very long, so I just divided the shop into two so that the back is hollow. But how do I fill it? So I put all these empty boxes, and then the little goods that I've bought, I pack the empty boxes behind, and the ones that goods are inside, I put it in front. Then at that time, there was what they call mercury bulb. Who know mercury bulb? Mercury bulb is the ultraviolet bulb. It gives a very beautiful shade of color when the background is white. And so I'll throw the ultraviolet bulb on this goose, put some light, blinking light and all that, and anybody who comes, hey, Akwanishe goose. So beautiful a store. Then I started reaching out to people. If this is not innovation, what else it is? Empty box innovation. Come to me. I have that innovation. And I use it to be able to fill my shop. And today, New Lucky has warehouses that is so full with goods. So, you have to be accountable also with whatever opportunity that you've gotten, the credit that you've gotten, the bank support that you are getting. Sometimes you don't have overdraft in the bank, but because of your consistency, if you have problem that you want to solve, you tell the manager, oh, okay, then I'll give you a chinankwa fabro. Win your business and because of how creditworthy you are, bank can even give you where they haven't gone through the documentation to give you any credit. Because of your consistency and all that, they say, oh, take this to go and solve this problem and please bring it. So the next moment, sometimes we haven't even gotten it, but I'll take from my brother, my friend who can give me, I'll go and sort the bank. So you are unburdening my trust and credibility. It's very important. Reinvest savings into the business. Most people, now I'm talking, all these things is related to the growth, how it will make your business grow. When we were at Opera Square, if you know Opera Square, when we started, you know what we used to do competition among ourselves. We are not thinking about how much capital do we have. We didn't even know our capital. All that we used to assess ourselves is that whatever thing that you sell, you do not take the profit. You don't touch it. You go and buy goods again. And so, what was our measure of wealth at that time? Our measure of wealth was what goods we have in our warehouse. The goods that we pack in our warehouse, that they will say, hey, akwa we goods rough. So we were rich where we didn't even know our worth. Because all that we knew was to reinvest. We buy the thing. Somebody would start selling goods. And then every day he's calculating his profit. So you just calculate the profit. Hey, today I made 500. And the 500, you know, we inquire somebody, we inquire issue. And I say, now, how will you grow? Because you have to reinvest. It says, "Can I what you to the floor and I would and I say, you know, you will have to reinvest into the business for the business to grow." Let me tell you, I'll give you an analogy. When you are doing business and you have profit, the business is growing. Let me tell you, the business is like a cup full of water. A cup full of water. When you are thirsty and you drink from the cup, what happens? It got finished. You have a cup full of water and you are thirsty and then it will finish from it. In business, we don't drink from the cup. We drink the overflowing one. Having filled it, the one that is drizzling is what? And so, whilst doing that, you are growing your business in perfection. So, customer service is also very important. Build your personality. Somebody, his personality is very repulsive. When you see a person, the way his demeanor, the way he is dressed, is very repulsive. He is not well kept. Some people too, the way they will shudder and come, and they will be all smiling, and as if you just want to walk into her and all that. These are all very positive. You have to be ahead of your competitors. Make your brand outstanding from other brands, adapt the new norms of doing business, and then try to inculcate the habit of paying your tax. Because you have to learn from the very beginning so that it does not become a problem for you in future. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. So, because of the constraints of time, I would take only 3 questions. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we'll start from here.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Joseph. Thank you very much for your delivery, and I really admire your suit as well. Yeah. So I'm also an entrepreneur, and with the GUTA, right, to being the president of GUTA, I wanted to know your priorities for the next 12 months for the members of GUTA. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Obeng, the president of Ghana Union of Trade. Yeah. Okay, I'm the person of Abdulatif Usman. The question I just have: what are some of the things are you going to tell our government or the education sector? As a young politician growing up, I saw that agric students, they spend all their time in class, where they are like 90% of their work is supposed to be in the field. Engineering students that we call electrical engineering students who cannot even wire a socket are sitting in classrooms. But the government of Ghana is spending millions of dollars just on these people, and we are not seeing anything. Look at what we've seen recently. 6 able young ladies just were dead. Most of them were nurses. Most of them were just completed universities. So what are some of the things, or what are the advice are you going to give to the education sector so that they will revive or change the course of education in Ghana? Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Nilantai Badu. I'm a computer science student. So from what you talked about finding value. So as of level 100, I've been exploring different things in the branch of computer science, and I settled on graphic design to the point of 3D art. So my question to you is, how do students identify their strengths and align them towards their career path? And what is the biggest gap between the classroom learning and the workplace expectations in our countries today?
So, can I answer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the first question about GUTA. GUTA is a union of traders associations. So it's not an association for individual members, no. So GUTA is an umbrella body for 78 trade associations. Now, the last count, we've gotten about 4, so now it's about 82 trade associations. So when we say trade associations, let me give you one example. You know, the Ghana National Spare Parts Dealers Association. So you go to Abosso Kai, the whole of Abosso Kai. You go to Kumasi, the whole Swami magazine and all that. Very big. You go to Sunyani, Takrady, where they sell these spare parts and all that, come as one unit under GUTA. Then I belong to the Ghana Electrical Dealers Association. I've been the president for years. Then I got this elevation to be the leader of all the traders in the country. Now, what is my vision for my association? My vision is so simple, and I think you heard from me so many times. My problem is that the trade that we're doing is being taken away from us. The China Mall keep expanding. Chinatown keep expanding. China EU keep expanding, while the local businesses are shrinking. And yet there is an investment law that says that trading is a preserve for the Ghanaian. What an irony. It's very pathetic. So if care is not taken, you say you are an entrepreneur. Now shops are being sold at as extorsively as $100,000 at Okenshi. How are you going to get $100,000 to buy a shop to start your company? Because of the demand that these people are putting on these shops. Because they have the money. They assess credit at a very cheaper prices. They assess credit at about 2%, and we assess credit till recently when it has come between 25% and thereabout. We are assessing around 35%. So my major aim, even though I'm tired, because I've been the national organizer of GUTA for 22 years, and I've been the president for 8 years, 30 years, I want to retire. But then I have able men. This gentleman is the General Secretary for Asante Business Owners Association, as well as the Research Director of Economic Research Directorate. He heads it at GUTA. So we have able men who will take over, and I will still guide them. But my main aim is to preserve the local business where it is due. That's for the Ghanaian. Otherwise, Zambia is already gone to the Chinese. Zambia is gone. They control almost everything. And so we don't want that thing also to happen here. And this is not xenophobia, because every country has got restriction of some aspect of its economy that is a preserve of those countries. So each country defines the area that is deemed as preserve for the indigenous. So this is nothing like a xenophobia or against, because even there's an Akan adage that we use the foreigner to build any nation. Have you heard that before? Yeah, the all war energy trickle. So we are not being that, but then we want the laws to be enforced to the latter. Then, my brother, reorientation of a school curriculum is very important. The theory that is not producing anything, that do not prepare you adequately to follow the distance. I've always said that Ghana, if it is a football team, the midfield is broken. Because the midfield is the youth that will have to come and occupy the industries. Because now, if somebody set a factory, the factory that I want to build, I'm also arranging for an Indian or Chinese expatriate to come so that he will mine the machineries, because I wouldn't have the expertise here. What kind of education are we doing? And this is supposed to be an engineering school. And we don't know how to fix both and not. So we have to reorientate the educational system. And you see, even before then, during Nkrumah's time, the polytechnics were there for this purpose. And they were doing well. Now they've been transformed to universities. I don't know whether they are doing the same mandate that was given to the polytechnic as of now. You've opened my mind. I'll ask. Now this entrepreneurship thing that I'm talking about should be part of the regular curriculum to prepare people to know how to do business. Because in all things, if even you are an engineer, you end up being an entrepreneur, setting up your workshop, engineering workshop one day, and you have to use entrepreneurship. How are we going to inculcate all these things into our educational system to make us very relevant, like Japan has done? It's not the English. Japan, China, they don't speak English at school. They speak their own language. And they prepare them on these technical things, and they become masters. So they'll come here, they'll speak the English, and you'll be laughing at them. And they will be laughing at you. That you are in university, you speak English, but you can't eat English. I can't. Please, This is an emotional thing that you've asked me. It needs to be changed. And we probably your school have to arrange to bring the educational minister or his appointed expertise to come so that you voice this thing out for them. I plead that you do that. And then the other gentleman you were talking about. So let me tell you, I've been here. I took my time to talk through everything to the time that I talk, and I was talking about the same thing that you've asked me. You see, we have to change certain things. You know, Ghanaians go to church more than probably any other country. When they go to church, they go and watch the dancing of the probably ladies. They go and shake themselves and come. They didn't listen to anything. Now the moral fiber of society is broken. Who are you following? The pastors have deviated, the church members have deviated, and it has affected the moral fiber of society, and now there's no integrity. Ghanaian youth is not employable at this stage in our life. It's very important. We have to add skills. Ghanaian youth is not employable. Most times you say that you do not have work to do. Let me tell you, because we are not adding up to skills, we are not learning apprenticeship to occupy certain spaces. Now, in the construction industry, what I've realized is that whenever everybody is building, when it comes to tiles, when it comes to POP, when it comes to painting and all that, they say, we are going for the Togolese guys to come and do that. Have your father done that for you to see before? Those who have seen their parents do construction, you see that most of these guys are Togolese people who come and do this. Is it too difficult for us to do the painting and tiling and all that? Because we are not employable. Probably we don't have the skill, we don't have the integrity. Let me tell you, when it comes to fashion, now most of you want to do fashion and all that. I have realized that from time immemorial, when somebody did not go to mainstream secondary school, they take him, the person, if he's a lady, to learn seamstress. I hope every household have gotten a seamstress there. And we have not enhanced on the act of seamstress, the skills, for them to upgrade to the extent that when we want people to sew our goods, the kaftan and all that things that we wear, the ladies, the people that come and sew for the designers, our designers here, they do not sew themselves. They open the factory and bring the expertise from Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Nigeria. This thing that I'm wearing was sewn in Nigeria. Because I want the beautiful of the lot, and I couldn't get it here. So we have to add up to our skills. We have to reorientate the way we do things. I'm becoming passionate. Let me stop here probably before. Because there are so many things. The Ghanaian youth is not employable. The moral fiber of society is broken when you employ Ghanaian. Now I've seen some people who are saying that because I wanted to grow to a certain level, and then I was having problems. And then somebody told me, why don't you go and employ these Philippines? Or yes, they are very cheap and they can also work. I say it has come to this level. I've even heard this gentleman who do logistics, Magdan, that he's having these problems and that he has to fall on other foreign entities to come, personalities to come and mind the business. So, what are you doing to yourself? Why should you leave you behind and go elsewhere to find the labor? Because you do not fit in. How are we going to fit in? Let's ask these questions. Let's bring the education minister probably to answer some of these questions. My brother, I'm sorry. I know you listened. I'll give my paper to you. You are the only person I'll give to you so that you read through. Thank you very much. May God bless you.